Time for another tip. This time it is regarding timeshare presentations. A lot of people got invited to stay at resorts at a reasonable price, and in return, they have to attend a timeshare presentation. Basically, the timeshare companies are trying to acquire clients. Nothing wrong in that, but here are some important tips, and watch till the end to know of the tips. Nothing rocket science in it, but I think they are important purely based on my learning. The first tip that I tell everybody is remember a timeshare company will never schedule presentation for you on the day of check-in and on the day of checkout. So the number of days that you are left with between the two dates, you should attend the presentation at the earliest. The reason for that is very simple. They try to sell, they try to do, I would say, good job in trying to persuade you, trying to understand why you don't want to sign up, and then offer you various combinations. And you may get enticed by certain combination. It's fine. They are in this profession for quite some time. They know how to probably sell. But the reason I'm saying that attend at the earliest is because when you go back, you'll be able to run some numbers. You'll be able to actually log into their portal and explore booking and then compare it with any aggregator like Priceline, Expedia, Travelocity, etc., etc. That's the first tip. Try to attend the presentation ASAP. Second tip that I would give to everybody is that while it may not be possible for everyone to know all the clauses beforehand, as in like what will be the cancellation terms, there are a lot of social communities. Just go through some of the social communities to see if people have sometimes been in situation wherein they wanted to cancel but were not allowed, etc., etc. Basically, when you want to try a restaurant, you look for the reviews on Google, Yelp, and various other platforms. So that doesn't mean that you wanted to go there and definitely complained. That might be because you get some idea. Now, despite that, some people go and try, so that's fine. So just try to look for that. If not, the cancellation will be part of the written contract. Now, why I'm saying cancellation is because two times when I have signed up and then cancelled, the thing that I did was once I signed up, I logged into their portal and decided, okay, I want to book a trip. And then I compared the prices. I understood how much points they will be deducting and then how much saving I have. So those are the kind of number crunching that you would like to do in order to actually come to a conclusion that it is worth paying every year a maintenance fee. It is worth actually buying a package which probably you might get financed, and then you have to pay it with a high interest rate as high as 14, 15 or 16%. So definitely that requires those number crunching. The third tip I tell everybody is go to these presentations with an open mind. See, don't go with a preconceived notion that I have to say no. Now, if you have to say no for a reason that you have and you feel is convincing, you will say it regardless. But I have went with an open mind. It is true, I have signed twice and then cancelled, but at the same time I learned about how the timeshare works. Like, for example, every year, starting of the year, they credit points into your account and you accumulate points and then you redeem them for booking. The important part here to remember is if sometimes anybody at any presentation verbally try to sell you that points never expire, please don't believe it. Points do expire. Some companies may say you can carry forward those points in a year, but points do expire. I don't think any timeshare company can keep the points perpetually. That makes no sense from a business perspective. Think about it. Why would they do it? So that's a very important tip on the points. And of course, another thing is many timeshare companies would package in such a way that they will say, okay, we'll sell you points to the resorts that they own. But what if you want to go to a destination wherein they don't have a physical resort of their ownership? In that case, please try to understand how many points you are allowed to use. Maybe you are not allowed to use all the points. These are some of the restrictions which I understood when I went with an open mind. That A, they own some resorts. B, there are locations where you want to travel where they don't have their own resort. In that case, they may have some partners. At the partners, how many points you are allowed to redeem. Those are the things that you have to check. And I understand on the day of presentation, when it is too much sales, you may not be able to do this comparison, which is why I tell everybody attend the presentation at the earliest, go back, run the numbers, compare the prices, check the inventory. How many destinations are there? Like for example, I'm sitting in US, but for me, Asia Pacific is very important. So any timeshare company based out of USA, it has to have good partners in Asia Pacific. Otherwise, it is a deal breaker for me. So likewise, you have to see number of properties that they have through the partnerships. Other thing that I would say, for me, the thumb rule is if you're not having a vacation requirement in a year that is at least 3 weeks, I personally felt it's not worth, because then imagine the kind of payment you are making. Making annual maintenance fees, they can increase anytime, it's their prerogative. So if you want to really justify the investment you make, it's important that you see the inventory, you see the frequency at which you will go to travel, and then you compare the prices, read the cancellation clauses, and then from there you can easily decide. Otherwise, they sold, you are back to your hometown, and then you are stuck. One last thing I would say, I attended timeshare presentations in Mexico as well as in US. There is more consumerism in US in comparison to Mexico. In US, I did have a process wherein I can cancel it by means of a USPS or FedEx, a mail. I can send a registered mail along with whatever they have given me, and they will cancel, they will refund you the entire money. Certified mail would be the best, wherein they have to sign. But in Mexico, where I attended, I mean, I don't have to sound diplomatic, but there isn't a lot of consumerism in Mexico on part of the companies. But fortunately, I did my research before going there. You still have 3 to 5 days to cancel free of cost. So if you go in Mexico, remember this. Second thing that you remember is some timeshare companies in Mexico might say there is no virtual process to cancel. It has to be canceled on the premises, which means you have to return the timeshare written contract. That is where my first step comes into picture as very handy, which is you should attend the presentation ASAP. Remember, so these are some of the tips for timeshare presentation. Comment on this video and let me know if there is something else that you would like to know. I'll be happy to share the experience. I have not shared all this using any AI tool or any, large language model or any chat GPT, Llama, Gemini. No, it is purely based on experience. I don't want to name the companies here. I'm not in the business of naming and shaming, but I think that these are certain tips which, had I known earlier, it would have helped a lot. But I'm glad I learned on the spot. Thank you so much. Till then, cheers. Look forward to further tips. Thank you.